And before I get into this very important topic, I just want to take a moment to thank all of my supporters and everyone for supporting my channel as we get ready to usher into the year of 2025. And I'm really excited in regards as a content creator in the direction I'm going to continue to take my YouTube channel. So with that being said, let's get on down to today's lecture, which is using gig apps for employment. And I want to talk about the consequences of that. It just seems to be so popular over the past several years in terms of people using these various gig apps as a way for employment, which is, interchangeable with being an independent contractor. Because the person gets a 1099 at the end of the year based off all the work that they did off that gig app. But I want to talk about some consequences in regards to using these various of gig apps for employment. Number one, it can lead to consequences like income instability. Your income is based on what gigs you take or how many gigs you can attain. So there can be a lot of income instability in regards to gig work. And people really need to think about that because your standard household bills, your rent, your mortgage, your car note, your insurance, taking care of your kids, your cell phone bill, your food, there's a certain amount of money we have to pay our monthly bills, make no mistake. So if a person is exclusively doing gig work as a form of employment, it's so many times where the income can be not stable at all. It can fluctuate and go up and down. In addition, not just with the income fluctuation, it can vary when you do gig work versus when you do have a traditional job. When you're a certain amount of money you're going to make from a W-2 job. But there's other things that you have to worry about if you're just exclusively doing gig work, like you're going to have to purchase your own health insurance. There's not going to be any paid time off because if you don't work the gig, you don't get paid, bottom line. You're going to have to buy into your own 401 retirement because as a gig worker, you're considered a 1099. So all of those responsibilities are going to fall on you in terms of health insurance, life insurance, purchasing your own 401, paying for your own into your own Social Security, and all of those things. In addition, what many people are not talking about is when you do gig work, there's really potential for low pay because, they may be paying you a certain amount of money per hour to do this gig, but on the flip side, you got to be thinking about, you got to subtract for gas money, you got to subtract for wear and tear on your car, you're going to have to subtract for the money you spend to purchase your own insurance, life insurance, medical insurance, dental insurance, if you're doing that. So you got to subtract all of that from whatever they're paying you per hour, and that's really going to bring down the amount of money you bring home, meaning potential for low pay. This is real talk. Also, some other consequences of doing gig work, there's limited job security. This is real talk. It's limited job security because you're always worrying about, when you're going to get the next gig, or if you can get another gig that's going to pay you enough to pay your bills, which all can lead to increased stress behind doing all of this gig work. Stress behind managing your own schedule, and then at the same time finding these gigs, and then at the same time worried about, are you going to be able to make enough money per month from these gigs to pay your real bills. This is real talk, people. This is real talk right here that people of any age really need to slow down and think all of the other real responsibilities that come behind if you choose or select to do exclusively gig work. I'm not saying that you can't make a living off this. I'm not saying that you can't pay your bills behind this, but make sure if that's this direction that you're going to take, make sure you're purchasing your own 401 retirement. Make sure you got adequate health insurance, life insurance, dental insurance on yourself and your significant other or your kids, if applicable. Make sure you got all of those things in place. Make sure you're balancing work-life balance. This is real talk. Because remember, if you're only doing gig work, if you don't go to work, you do not get paid. Versus on a W-2 job, a full-time job, you're earning PTO, you're earning vacation, you're earning sick. So you go on vacation and you out sick, you're still getting paid. But if you just got all gig work, if you don't produce, you do not get paid, and that can be added stress. Another consequence in terms of behind gig work is you are going to have to make sure you're filing your taxes. You better make sure you're aligning yourself with a very good certified public accountant to file your taxes once they send you your 1099 applicable to every gig that you have done. So when you get those 1099s, make sure you are filing your taxes, because if not, you will get into trouble with Uncle Sam. If you owe taxes, trust me, you're going to either pay now or you're going to pay later. So that's another consequence of doing exclusively gig work. Make sure you're keeping up with all of your 1099s. Don't try to be the tax expert. No, go ahead and hire a certified public accountant to file your personal and business taxes. This is real talk, people. Essentially, gig workers often face greater financial uncertainty and fewer protection compared to traditional employees. This is real talk. And I've always known this. And like I said, if this is the direction a person's going to take in terms of doing gig work, make sure you still got all those other things in place to protect yourself. Your 401, your insurance, your medical, your dental, your life. Make sure you are filing your taxes so you do not get into trouble. Share this information if you're a content creator on your community wall, because many people may need to hear this, because like I said, well, what I observed over the past several years, it just seems to be all of this gig work seems to be so popularized. And when I hear people talking about this gig work and popularizing it and talking about all of the money they're making and how much is, all of the money they're making, how much they enjoy it versus having a W-2 job, when I'm hearing this, I never hear them talk about all of the important behind the scenes things that they're doing as a gig worker in terms of making sure they got a 401, making sure they're investing into their financial portfolio, making sure they got their life insurance, health insurance, dental insurance on themselves and their significant other. And I never hear them talking about how they align themselves with a certified public accountant to make sure that all of their taxes is being paid. This is real talk. So that's all I have. Simple fidelity. And I'm going to leave you in the care of your own conscience. Have a great day.